Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And you can also find a way to go from being a showman to being a shit show. And that's exactly what happened to Ben Whitaker. Now make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Let me tell you something, man. That light heavyweight bout between Ben Whitaker and Liam Cameron in Saudi Arabia, you know what that told me? That told me that Ben Whitaker, he is not ready to step up in competition. He doesn't have the discipline, people. Now, I see people are making comparisons to him and Prince Naseem Hamed. To that I say, in the most respectful way, is to hold your horses and let's not take it to the stupid. What hurt Ben Whitaker is he tried to hold his ground and let go hard shots. He can't do that. You know why? Because he's not a hard puncher. So for everybody who was saying, Ben Whitaker is the biggest star in boxing in the UK. He's the next best thing that we've seen. Let me tell you something. There are a few fighters who are able to get in that ring and clown around and get away with stuff. Emmanuel Augustus had a very unique style where he could come in there and clown around and make opponents look stupid. And if Emmanuel Augustus would have taken fighting more serious, any and everyone who faced him, whether sparring an official match, said he was good. But he was kind of his own worst enemy. And then you have Prince Naseem Hamed. Prince Naseem Hamed was just something special. But do not get it twisted. You know why Prince Naseem Hamed was able to get away with some of the buffoonery and the clowning around and antics? Is because he had speed, he had IQ, he had timing, amazing timing, and he had freakish power. And I don't care who you are, when you have those four qualities and you get in a fight with anyone, it's a high probability of you getting a win. And more importantly, getting a knockout. But Ben Whitaker, he seemed to have some timing, seemed to have speed, got a little bit of IQ, but he doesn't have that power where he can get in the ring and do the type of things like what Prince Naseem Hamed was able to do. As a result, he got in there, tried to exchange with, I would call Liam Cameron more of a veteran because he's been around, he's been in hard, tough sparring sessions, so he has a reputation. He's not a guy who you get in the ring with and think you just touch him up, bing, 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 and he's going to fold. No. He believes in himself, he believes in his skill, he believes in his power, and he believed that he could beat Ben Whitaker. And he was beating him. Now that whole bizarre draw with them falling out the ring, I think that was unfair to Cameron. But Whitaker knew what he was doing. So everyone now is looking at him as probably the biggest flop in the history of British boxing. That stage was set up for him to shine. To shine over there in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and he failed the test. Can he bounce back? Look, man, I don't know. Because what it showed me is mentally he's not strong. He faced some adversity, and then all of a sudden, he wanted a way out. He wasn't able to make adjustments. You even seen Prince Naseem Hamed, since they want to compare him to him, in fights where Prince Naseem Hamed had to make adjustments, had to be mentally strong, had to get through the anxiety, had to get through the tough spots. It's a good example of Prince Naseem Hamed making adjustments and getting up on the canvas and finding a way to win was when he came to the United States and he faced off against Kevin Kelly. If you haven't seen that fight, go watch that. Prince Naseem against Kevin Kelly. You want to see knockdowns? You want to see action? You want to see shit that have you on the edge of your seats? Prince Naseem Hamed against Kevin Kelly. Let me tell you, that was Prince Naseem Hamed's fight to lose. And he refused to lose. But what bailed him out in a fight where he was getting the beans put on him was that power. And if Whitaker had Prince Naseem Hamed's power, he would have been able to get out of those sticky situations when he faced Cameron. But instead of him putting the beans on Cameron, he went WWE, suplexed the man. I was just waiting for him to camel clutch him and shit and do a Jimmy Superfly snooker, fly across the ring and headbutt the man. So as a result, what are we doing here with Ben Whitaker, people? I can't take him serious. I'm going to be honest with you. He should have boxed. The man's a goddamn Olympian. You know what I'm saying? But there's some fighters who, as amateur fighters, they're great boxers. But when they turn pro, they try to evolve their style to a more entertaining style that can help grow their profile, which ultimately will return, larger fight purses. But they have some guys who go from the amateur ranks, and they don't necessarily need to try to do something different. And I think Ben Whitaker is one of those guys who didn't really need to try to come out here and be something he wasn't. And I think he got away from the discipline he had that earned him a silver medal. And then he turned pro and he decided, okay, I have this talent, I have this skill, so I'm going to clown around and have fun with these opponents, which you can do when you're facing guys in like your first few fights. But once you start getting up there a while and you start winning, the level of competition increases. So you can't get away with the cartwheels, the back handsprings, the front handsprings, the goddamn roundhouses, and biting opponents. Like, you can't get away with all that bullshit, riding a unicycle in the ring. The circus show comes to an end. And that's what I think happened to him, man. Horrible, man. To see him come out here and not saying an accidental injury to his ankle, and now went to the scorecards, man. But I'm telling you right now, man, that was a horrible split decision, technical draw, in my opinion. And I just think Whitaker had nothing left. He wasn't in shape. You can't come up here now and go fight in Saudi Arabia, and now you don't have stamina. You're out of condition. But I could understand, trying to acclimate and shit. But I put it to you this way. His performance made Cameron look so good that Cameron ended up getting a promotional deal. That's how bad Whitaker looked, and how good his poor performance made Cameron look. That Cameron finally got a promotional deal. Because he wasn't supposed to even get a draw, and many people felt that he beat him. Absolutely crazy, man. But anyway, some of these fighters are looking for a way out, and it happens, and they deserve for people to be critical on them. You can't. This is boxing, man. I'm not saying go out on your shield, but go down swinging at least. But you don't want to be out there concussed, knocked down 3 times, and then getting up off a heart and going there and end up with brain damage. No, but goddamn fight. And if the guy is outwilling you, you and your corner need to make adjustments. And if his corner didn't know what to tell him, like freaking Maliki and Deontay Wilder against Tyson Fury in the 3rd fight, well then get rid of your corner. Because you need somebody in there who has more brain, more IQ than your opponent's corner. And Whitaker and his team, in my opinion, just didn't have it. You can't come out here and end up in no shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like this right here, this is not what you want. Getting the bing-bings put on you. Then you end up tired of getting the shit knocked out of you. You grab the guy and throw him out the ring like this. Then you end up there looking crazy, falling on your neck and shit. Now you're there laying on the ground, looking all distraught and traumatized. And then you're there on your back, playing like you broke your goddamn, like what Mike Tyson said, I broke my back. It's spinal. My man went out there and pulled a Mike Tyson. Then you end up in your corner, and everybody acting like there's something wrong with your ankle, and you're grimacing, and the referee lifts your opponent's arm in victory, because even the referee knows that you put on a shit show, and you really lost that fight. So in my opinion, man, he needs to get back in the ring sooner than later. But they're out here playing like it's such a really bad injury. It's a horrendous injury. This is career threatening. Watch him be back in the ring in 60 days. Get the hell out of here. All he wanted was out of that fight. He could have been a showman. He could have, it would have been fine if he boxed the first 5 rounds. Soften the man up, then let his hands go. He chose to turn into a shit show because for some reason he thought he had knockout power, like Devin Haney. Devin Haney was running around here thinking he had knockout power and got the wake-up call. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I like Ben Whitaker. All the great stuff he did as an amateur to come now as a pro and turn it all. It's like milk. You allow it to sour. You intentionally sit it out and allow it to sour. And it wasn't past its expiration date. That's dumb. So hopefully he and his team can figure it out because I think he's entertaining. But it's not going to get any easier. You know, his team, they're not like ESPN. They're not going to sit back and put you in there with easy fights now. Ben Whitaker, he's a household name now. The whole world knows who he is. He's the guy that was in the ring doing all this crazy shit. The whole world knows who he is. And now most of the boxing community knows that he seems to be a guy who's a dud, who was a fluke. The showman turned shit show. And he can reverse that, but he's got to come back and get some wins. But I think he needs to take his craft more serious. Look, the Tom and Jerry shit, the Three Stooges, Larry, Curly, and Moe bullshit, it's over. Get serious about your craft because you're going up with these guys. I'll tell you what, ask Prince Naseem, my man, when he got in there with a killer like Barrera. All that jumping around the ring, looping punches and all that bullshit, that shit ain't work. Barrera was strictly business. He came in there, man, and Ginsu Prince Naseem Ahmed's ass. But that was against the elite at that time. Goddamn Whitaker's out here getting Ginsu by guys who aren't elite. Solid, but not elite. That wasn't supposed to happen. Or maybe it was. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, 7 continents. Breeze.